Hi, kids and cadets. 2010 Lawn Boy. I started working on this yesterday. Customer reached out to me. They were going to buy a machine. I told them, let me try to fix this one. I kind of checked it out with you yesterday. I didn't see any serious issues with it, so I'm halfway through the project. This is a Lawn Boy 10642. 10642. The engine code says it's a 2010. We looked at that yesterday. So I've already done some stuff. I ended up changing the blade out with another blade from another Lawn Boy. I don't have any of these in stock, so I got to order one. So they're about 20 bucks. I'm trying to figure out what I need to charge this lady for the carb clean and the blade. So I'm thinking 60, 20 to get this back so I can put it on the other machine, and then 40 to do the carb clean. So I've poured the motor oil out of this, crankcase oil, filled the crankcase about halfway. We'll check that out. Like I said, clean the carb. There was a little pool of water in the bottom of the bowl. Tighten the head bolts. Everything else looks copacetic. So where do we want to start? I've got another gasket, a new air filter to replace this thing. The original 491588 SAM. What else? Put another bowl gasket on it because the bowl gasket, I believe, was the original one. It was dry and smushed, so I put another bowl gasket on it. So I've done some of the stuff already to this. Since this is on, why don't we take the gas tank off and go ahead and pour the gas out of this thing. I've got a container here. See if we can see anything. Although my container's kind of dirty to start, it's not a good project farm controlled experiment. 10 millimeter here. So I had washed the engine off without the recoil on. It was totally caked up with dirt. Let it dry in the sun, and now it just got re-wet because we had a little shower about 30 minutes ago. It was kind of just sprinkling. I figured I'd come out and finish this up before it really rains again. It's overcast, so it looks like it could rain again. Okay, let's pour the gas out of this. It's a full tank. Like I said yesterday, this lady was sharing this with a neighbor across the street. He got too old to run the machine. He gave it to her. She started it once and then it wouldn't start again. She said he wasn't very handy and neither is she. She basically came out and said we didn't do anything to this thing. We didn't even change the oil. So I saw the physical condition of it. I thought we can salvage this thing. There's no need for her to buy one of mine. I'll just charge her 60 to clean this thing up. Fuel looks kind of cloudy, but that might be some of the rainwater that got in there from this brief shower. Let me blast out the tank. pretty dry. Hose isn't blocked. Blew on the end of the hose. So we'll see if it's a fuel issue. I got fresh Wawa gas. So we just got to put this thing back together. Okay, I think it's time for the recoil, and then the fuel tank's gonna go on. Let me grab the recoil, blast some air through that. I kind of degreased that as well and cleaned up the ID plate. There was a question on what the numbers were when we first looked at this, but I cleaned it up where I can read it. 126 Tango 05 3216 Bravo 11004 0156. It's a 2010. I'll put that down below in the model number. So I got most of the caked up stuff, but it was like this kind of consistency. I'm gonna give this a squirt of oil just to help it along. Okay, what did I do with it? Here we go. Hope you're doing good. Like I said yesterday, this might be a slow week for me. I only have 1 or 2 videos to queue, so you might not see me. I kind of didn't do much last week on my week off. So I promise I'll get serious in the near future. So if you don't see one every day, don't become alarmed. Okay, fish this thing in. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So just take a look around. Make sure all the holes are lining up. Baffles where they should be. Okay, I'll put the recoil on, then the air filter backing plate. So I left the Lawn Boy green plastic cover as it was, and that's kind of the thickness of all the shit that was on it. They were pushing around 5 pounds of dirt. Okay, I'll just get these started. As you know, if you have 2 or more bolts holding something down, you get one started and you go back and forth and tighten them down equally. So we got 4 here. Get these started, and then I'll go back and forth. Put my oil filler tube on. Everything's looking good. I'll just snug them up, snug them all up, and then come back and do my final Tommy time torque. So she should get a couple years of service out of this thing. I'll coach her on oil changes and checking the air filter. Maybe she's just going to bring it back to me for yearly service. Okay, so now it's tank time. Clucky, you got to move. Okay, that's on. Now it's a 10 down here for the fuel tank. Put my spacer in place. And then we go up to the 5/16, the 3 for the top of the tank. I'm looking at those, and then it's the Phillips head screws for that green plastic piece. We won't worry about that right now. Our main concern is if this thing's going to start for us. Get one of these started. Go to the next one, get that started. I got to tighten down the air oil filler tube first. Once the tank's in place, you can't reach the 5/16 screw for that. At least this little shower is giving me some cloud cover. I don't have to crawl under a tree. It's just humid as heck. All that rainwater hits the hot pavement. It's a steam bath. Okay, let me air blast this out. Okay, that's good enough. Put my gasket in place. We don't have to worry about our air canal because this is a automatic choke. The gasket's just performing a seal between the plastic and the carb. we're making tracks. I'll check the oil since it's semi-level here on the table. If we're in the safe zone, I'll go with it and then top it off after. Call this lady and tell her her machine's ready to cut large volumes of grass, hopefully. Mr. Cluck, you got to cross your fingers. This green turd works for us. Okay, everything's moving. This is tight. Let me check the oil. Oh, wow. That was good. My little quick pour, we're right at the top mark. So I don't have to do shit. We're ready to go. I'm going to add fuel. We'll put this on the ground and I'll show you. I got a shirt from some viewers in Spain. They know I'm Mr. Safety. I got a safety shirt from, looks like a construction company. They do building construction, residential and commercial. They're not road builders. It's not that kind of construction. Okay. I think we're good. I didn't check the NGK plug, but it fired off and stalled. I think it was fuel. We're going to find out here in a minute. If it doesn't run, we'll keep troubleshooting. Let me move the old fuel out of the way. Drop this down. Hang on, Mr. Cluck. Okay, I just kicked Mr. Cluck off. Okay, I won't put the recoil up on the handle because I still need that green piece to go on. Let me grab you guys. You're over here all alone. Okay, let me show you that shirt. Jose and Kristen sent it to me. It's a large yellow and reflective shirt, brand new. You got some reflective stripes, yellow and black. and the construction company name. Brand new. So I appreciate you sending that to me. They're from Santander. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's northeast Spain on the coast. It's a coastal town. Some company in Madrid made the shirt. Looks like it's official. Series 173. Alta visible. So maybe that means extremely visible. I'm learning my Spanish. Anywho, I appreciate the large safety shirt. I'm afraid to wear it and get it all dirty. I may have to wear this to Thanksgiving dinner. It's so nice and clean. Be ashamed to grease this thing up. Okay, so that's that. Shout out to Kristen and Jose for the nice shirt. Appreciate it. They know I'm safety time, Tommy. Okay, without further ado, there's no battery in here. She didn't know it was electric start if need be. I told her I'd just make it a pull start. Let's try it. Okay, it's doing a lot better than it did. At least it's running, but it's running rough. So, and I tried the bail bar for the Self-Propelled. There was no action. So we're going to take an 11 millimeter, take some slack out of the cable. So what I want to do is two things. Start it again and then adjust my throttle here and bring the RPMs up and see if it smooths out. Seems like it's a low RPM. If that doesn't work, I'm going to remove the NGK and grab a Chinese aftermarket plug that came in a carb kit that I have. So let's remove the slack now. We can do a 2-for-1. That way when I start it, I can tamper with the throttle, and then I can engage the cable. It's an 11 or also a 7/16. Okay, so to get rid of the slack, pull the conduit towards the engine. That released quite a bit of slack. Leave a little bit here. You don't want to jam it up tight where there's tension right away on the bail bar. Okay, I think it's going to do something now. It's really pulling on something down there. I can hear it. So I need a clip up here, and then those flat nose pliers to adjust the tab outward for increasing RPM, towards the back of the mower to decrease. So we want to go forward. It's not at a good enough RPM, high enough RPM. So you missed all those hand motions. You were looking at the cable. I was up here at the spring. Okay, RPMs went up, but the, what would you say? The fluctuation didn't subside. Okay, I got a savior plug. We're going to try that, see if it makes a difference. It's about 90% better than it was. At least it's running, but it's not running smooth. I want this thing to purr. I want this quantum to purr. So what else could it be? Back to the carburetor. Carburetor issue. Didn't seem to be rusted up or defective in any way when I cleaned it. Timing off due to either one of them hitting something. Or is it this plug? I don't know what the cross reference is for this. It's an NGK BP Mic 7 Alpha. Let me put the Savior B3LME in it. I mean, it'll get the job done if I can't get rid of that little blemish in the idle. It's still going to cut. Okay. What can I use? I don't want to burn myself with this hot plug, but I don't want it pulled under the mower. Okay, there we go. Kind of looks like a, I don't know, 2-cycle plug on the NGK. Okay, let's see if it does anything. Clucky, you got any suggestions, or are you just going to hang around and do nothing? I feed you, give you water, and you're never helping me. Okay, we got it to propel by getting the excess slack out of that and engaged nicely. So brought up the RPMs a couple of times, and then you could see the throttle there fluctuating back and forth. Any of you guys know what the deal is with that? Let me know. This will probably be going home to her, but I'll keep it in the back of my mind for next time when I'm messing with these. I think she'll be happy. I can just hear that it's not smooth. Probably Harvey and Helen, the homeowner, can't hear that, but I can. So I'll leave my Savior in there. I'll keep the NGK. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I'm going to clean up the green cover, put it on, call her and say, hey, you're in business. You can let the machine self-propel. That works. New filter, new oil, blade. Blade is nearly new. It might have been a new blade. I used it once or twice. It kind of wore off a little bit of the paint, and then surface rust started, but I think it's a brand new blade. I hadn't doctored it up at all. So there you go. THD Repair, the Home Depot. 1877. We cannot fix. Home Depot. Okay, you guys, thanks for coming out. 95% happy with this, not 100%. It's going to be good enough for her. But I'd like to know why the throttle's fluctuating. Could hear a little puff too in the exhaust, like maybe it could be valve issue, needs a valve job. I could hear a little bit of a popping in the exhaust, so maybe that's what it is. Anyway, it's good enough for me. $60. She should be happy. She even commented when she brought it back, I can't find anybody to couldn't find anybody to fix it. And I said, well, there's two large repair shops, but I think they got 4 to 6 months worth of work from what I hear from other customers who kind of gave up on them fixing their stuff, so they had to come out and buy another used unit. Anywho, tip your waitress and wait staff. Thanks for coming out. Happy with this. It's not 100% like I said, but it's good enough. At least it runs and moves. I may do the wheels, grease up the wheels to make it a complete service. Adios, amigos.